Thanks for joining us in today's episode of Coda Shop Please. For all you guys out there, Nick is the senior community manager for the popular turn-based role-playing game Marvel Strike Force. And if you're following the Marvel Strike Force Facebook, you might recognize Nick because he's also the face of many of the Marvel Strike Force videos as well as content. So for today's episode, Nick is going to tell us more about the game as well as share with us the basics on how to get started. If you guys don't already know, MSF is available on Coda Shop, so you guys can have the convenience of leveling up your game with the power cores that you can purchase on the shop. So Nick, thanks for joining us for today. Can you tell us about yourself and like how did you get into the gaming industry?
How did I get into the industry? I applied for what is called a QA role, quality assurance at, you might know, EA Games. I did that way back in 2005. And since then, I've worked at many big games companies. I've worked for Sony Computer Entertainment. I've worked for Bandai Namco, EA Games more than once. Now I work for Scopely on the game Marvel Strike Force. So yeah, I've been around for a while.
So talk to us a bit more about this game, Marvel Strike Force. I'm pretty new to this game, so could you just like walk us through it? Tell us just like, as you mentioned, what kind of strategies are good for this and just what it's about?
Growing up playing video games, I played a lot of turn-based RPGs. So, I keep throwing out a bunch of names there, but if you ever played a game like, some of the older Final Fantasy games, you have your party, and you're fighting against enemies, right? And you take turns going back and forth, either casting spells, doing attacks, healing your party, that kind of stuff. So if you've ever played any of those kind of games, that sets you up great for Marvel Strike Force. So you have your squad of 5 of your, favorite heroes and or villains from the Marvel Universe, and you will go out and you will, do combat with another squad, usually of 5 characters. Really what the game is, at its core, is its buffs and debuffs. For the most part, what swings the tide of battle are the buffs that you have on your team and the amount of debuffs you want to try and put on the other team. It's kind of this cat and mouse game that you're playing throughout that combat, because those buffs and debuffs are really what help to swing the tide of battle and how much damage you're going to deal to your opponents.
So there are a lot of heroes and villains in the entire of the Marvel Universe. I wanted to ask, which is your favorite? Thousands. Which is your favorite? And also, like, are you the sort of player who just like picks the type of hero or villain that you like to play in the game, or do you go for those like more strong meta picks?
Yeah, I think it's a little column A, a little column B. You talk to some players that have been playing since day one, and they're like, oh, only the top characters, and then that's it. But like, no, your entire roster really does matter. I think one of the prime examples of this is actually one of my favorite characters, which is Magneto. I love the relationship that he has with Charles Xavier and how they're friends, and then they're enemies, and then they're friends again, and then they're enemies again, and they kind of keep, butting heads with each other. But then also in the game, too, he has some abilities on him that are very good, and some of them quite unique. For example, one of the things he can do is inflict blind on the enemy squad. So he can take them all spread out, he kind of clumps them all together, and then blinds them. Even against, like the most powerful characters, if they're blinded, chances are they're not going to be able to hit their attacks. So I think that's one of the great examples of, who's one of my favorite and still has a lot of utility in the game.
So last question before we hop into some Marvel Strike Force gameplay, and I know just how strict Marvel is about leaks and stuff. I wanted to ask you, Marvel's coming up with some pretty big movies all the time. Are we going to see the Eternals in Strike Force anytime soon? Is there a chance of that happening? Can you tell us?
Well, I'll say what I've said, I think, a couple of times before, which is that our studio, Boundless Entertainment, a Scopely studio, we work very closely with Marvel, right? It is a partnership. And we like to support them, what Marvel is doing, just as much as they like to support us. So when there are those big theatrical releases, like the Loki show, where we did the President Loki costume, Shang-Chi, and the Legend of the Ten Rings. We put Shang-Chi in the game, including his costume from the movie and the comics. So we have traditionally supported those big Marvel beats. So I would say it's a fair bet to say that we are going to continue to support those in the future. Yes.
All right, thank you so much for the chat. I can't wait to get into game and just like figure everything out. Hopefully, you'll show me the ropes and stuff. So let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it. Woo!
I'm pretty new to this game. I know you've got a lot of experience playing this. So can you just take us on a tour of the different features, the different modes, and just walk me through this?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, referencing what I mentioned before earlier, campaigns is where you want to start. So you can see you've got campaigns there on the right. I would go ahead and tap on that. And you can see we've got Heroes Assemble. We've got Villains United. There's the Nexus. If you slide over, you can see that you've got more campaigns. There's Cosmic Conflicts, Mystic Forces Rising, and then much later in the game, you're going to start unlocking Doom War and Isotope 8. So let's go ahead, if you start on Heroes Assemble there, if you click on Go.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you've already got a good chunk of this unlocked. You're already up to Heroes 6-5. These campaigns are where you're going to get the bulk of your characters. So you can see Winter Soldier there. Go ahead and tap on him. And then you can see that it says auto win there. If you tap on that auto win button, we should be able to get, and you do auto times 5. We should hopefully be able to get some, hey, there you go. You got some character cards there for Winter Soldier. So that is one of the main ways in which you're going to be able to make progress every day in the game. Is you come back to those nodes that you have cleared, and then you will be able to earn more character shards every day. Now, if you want to go a little bit faster, you can actually refresh those nodes. You actually have some of those purple power cores there. If you were so inclined, you could use 50 of those to refresh the node, and then you could go ahead through and clear it again and get even more character shards to go even faster. Totally up to you to decide how quickly you want to go through those campaigns.
So one of the things that I notice in this game that I'm super excited about whenever I pick up a new game is just customization. I like costumes. So for Marvel Strike Force, of course, we've got a whole lot of costumes for our heroes, from the classic ones to the movie-inspired ones. I wanted to ask which ones are your personal favorites? Are there any that I should be picking up that I'm missing out on?
Oh, sure. Let's go to supplies. There you go. Now you can take a look at our fancy costumes there. So we've got one of the newest ones there. We have an event going on right now to try and get the Wolverine Weapon X costume, which is what he's got there. Yep, there's X-Force Deadpool. He was actually one of our first costumes. The Dawn of X costumes there for both Emma Frost and Cyclops look pretty cool.
These are so nice, though. I love the pose for Deadpool. It's so funny. It's a classic.
You can always look and see if characters have costumes in the roster. Let's just really quickly go ahead and look for them. If you tap that little mask in the middle down there at the bottom, you can tap to see if they have a costume or not. That's always the way that you can check to see if they have costumes.
Okay, so we very nicely got a whole bunch of power cores from Coda Shop. What do you recommend I spend them on?
Sure. let's go out to the supply shop, and there's an orb specifically I've got in mind just for you. We're going to look for the Legacy 1 orb.
Legacy 1, Legacy 2.
Right there.
All right, this one.
Right. Legacy 1 orb. So let's go tap on one of those. Let's click on Get. And let's open one of these orbs and see what we get.
Whew.
All right, we got 5 shards for Cable, and we got some we've got some ability materials, and we got some gear. Cool. Let's open one more.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love opening orbs.
All right, you got 5 for Crossbones, and you've also got some
more building stuff. Building material.
More building materials and some gear. All right, let's back out. So that Legacy 2 orb. Now here's you're going to get even more powerful guys, right? So we showed in the banner, we've got guys like Thanos, and you see Juggernaut there. He's a pretty powerful guy. Let's open one of these and let's see if we get some good stuff.
Oh.
Ooh, you got 10 for Ghost Rider. So if you want to go buy a bunch of power cores and you just want to start, they're burning a hole in your pocket. I want to spend them fast. The Legacy orbs are a great way to do that.
Okay, so now that we picked up a bunch of shards, a bunch of gear and stuff, let's get into game.
Yes, let's play. Let's do it.
Holy crap!
Hello,
these graphics are so nice. Hello there, fools.
So you can see when they got those red eyes, they're being controlled by Ultimus. So that's the story there. All right, protect Thor and defeat all enemies to win. All right, we got to protect Thor. All right, so you can see now in the bottom right, you have several different abilities. So the first one is your basic ability, second one's your special, third one's your ultimate. Go ahead and tap on the second one there, the baton. So if you close the baton, as you can see, he got that little green symbol above him, which means now he has counterattack. So that's what we were talking about before. You want to try and get as many buffs on your guys as possible. Deadpool, go ahead and tap on the one on the far right. That's his ultimate ability.
Oh, and he gets the bleed as well, right?
Yep. And he just did a nice chain attack. And you see that little red dot above there, the little drop. That's a bleed, which means that character is going to take damage over time. Let's go ahead and hit him with Jessica Jones. Go ahead and use the far right one there. We're going to smack him really hard. So you can jump up real high and just smash.
I love her.
Okay. Now, one of the things we've been doing here, we've been targeting their guy with the shield, who's kind of their tank. We want to target some other guys. Usually targeting the tanks are not what you want to do. You want to target the guys who are dealing damage. So tap on one of the guys with the guns there. There you go. So now we've switched our target. Let's go ahead and use Thor's ability, his second one. And he throws Mjolnir there.
Satisfying.
Mjolnir. All right, let's hit him again with the other Thor. So this is the one we're trying to protect, I think. Go ahead and hit the button. Second one.
Nice.
Ouch. All right.
Very nice. Very satisfying.
And there you go. It's counterattack triggered, right? See, so that's why those buffs are important in the game. You get extra stuff. If you ever don't know what these do, if you press and hold down on one of those ability icons, it will tell you what it does. See, so there it says throw baton, attack primary target for damage, and then it has a chance to chain attack and give counter. So, yeah, I just know what these abilities do because I've been playing the game a long time. And then just as you're playing the game and using these abilities, that's the skill curve of the game, right? The more you use them, the more you get the feel for what they do, and you'll know which ones you want to use in which situations. Let's use Daredevil's ultimate there on the far right. So there we go. Did his chain attack there. Ouch. All right, let's hit him with Deadpool. Second ability.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
Usually you want to use their specials and their ultimates when they're available because they're usually more powerful or they have more utility associated with them. Uh-oh, he's calling in the reinforcements.
That don't look good.
Let's get
I just-
Nebula down. Let's go ahead and then smash her with Jessica Jones to get her out of the fight. Oh man, I cannot believe she lived through that.
No! What?
All right, well let's see if this Thor can take some guys out with his ultimate. Let's try that one on the far right. Come on, hit him!
Oh, wow.
Oh, there we go.
crap.
That was a good hit. That was a great hit because you stunned 2 of them and we got rid of three baddies. All right, let's finish off Yondu. We need to get Yondu out of there so that way he doesn't call anymore. Get the guy with the red coat behind him.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, let's try and take him out.
Beat him up, beat him up.
All right, come on, Thor. Ooh, nice smash.
Oof.
There's only 3 left that we got to take care of.
We got this, we got this.
We got this. I'm feeling confident.
Oh.
And then there was one. You got this. Look at you.
I'm so
Taking
good
it
at this
like a
game.
pro.
Thank you.
And you got the assist attack. The battle is won.
We did it! Yay! Well, I could have done that without you to guide me along. I wanted to kind of pick your brain a bit before you wrap up as well. Just, do you have any sort of like general tips for new gamers, new players wanting to get into the community for Marvel Strike Force?
Oh, the community, yes. Please join our Discord server. So that's discord.gg/Marvel Strike Force. Selfishly, I will plug our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Marvel Strike Force. We've got some great video content on there, including a show called Strike Time, where we do developer interviews talking about new characters and features coming up in the game. So check that one out too.
That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, Cerebro, for joining us and walking me through some Marvel Strike Force. Guys, if you're playing Marvel Strike Force, let us know what you think about the game and how you're enjoying it so far by leaving us a comment down below. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media pages because we're having our 7th anniversary and we are going to be giving away a whole bunch of rewards and prizes online. Also, check out the Marvel Strike Force Discord as well as a YouTube channel to get updates about the game. That's it for us for this episode. We'll see all of you again in the next episode of Coda Shop Plays. Bye!